This is Making Waves, a series of podcasts celebrating and commemorating 25 years of Wave Community Bank.
Hello and welcome to the first of a short series of podcasts that we are recording for Wave Community Bank entitled Making Waves. It's all about celebrating and commemorating the 25 years of Wave Community Bank, meaning, of course, that it was started in the year 2000. And I'm joined for these podcasts by Deputy CEO Emma, who is going to be answering some questions in this particular edition. But in future editions of the podcast, we may well have some special guests as well. You all right with the questions? We've kind of,
I think so, Phill. Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
So let's go right back to the very beginning then. So 8th of August, the year 2000.
That's right.
The very start.
Feels like a million years ago rather than 25 years ago.
Can you kind of give me an idea of how it came to be and sort of, because I know it's not always been called Wave Community Bank. Can you give me a kind of an idea of how it all started and what kind of made the name changes kind of happen?
Certainly. So we started as the Brighton East Credit Union in 2000, and the aim of it was to help people in the east of Brighton with financial difficulties, probably people that were struggling to get accounts, to be able to access those financial services. And then it grew from there. So I think after about 10 years, we became East Sussex Credit Union, so expanded our common bond from just Brighton to include East Sussex as well. And then we grew again after we changed our name to Wave Community Bank. We then grew again to include Kent and Medway. And the reasoning behind the Wave Community Bank change was that particularly when we were going out talking to people about a credit union, they would sort of say, don't know what that is, don't get it, I've never heard of one. And you sort of say, well, it's a community bank, really. We're all about the people in our community. And it was like, maybe we'd be better changing our name. Our legal entity is still a credit union, but there is so few people, it would appear, in the UK that know what a credit union is, know how we work. So to kind of make it a bit more Ronseal, we went with Community Bank.
Love that, doing exactly what it says on the tin. Love that. You mentioned quite early on that something called a common bond. Can you kind of explain what that is and how important it is, particularly for Wave?
Yeah, so within credit union legislation, we have rules about how many people we can have within our common bond. So a common bond is a criteria that our members share. So for us, it's geographical. So our members need to live or work in East Sussex, Brighton and Hove, Kent, Medway and Bexley. The London Borough of Bexley. There are other credit unions that have industry-based common bonds. So it could be the Police Credit Union. They're now called Serve and Protect, and they cover the police, fire service, prison service, all that kind of thing. So depending on your credit union, they'll have a slightly different common bond. So the thing to do is find out what the common bond is of your credit union that you want to join and whether or not it applies to you.
Okay. So what kind of sets Wave apart, and potentially even sort of other credit unions and community banks? What sets, because we're talking about Wave, let's talk about Wave. What sets Wave apart from kind of like traditional financial institutions?
We are a savings and loans cooperative, so we are a not-for-profit. There are no fat cats with credit unions.
Right.
We are owned and run by our members for our members' benefit. So it is a community of people saving money together, and that money is then loaned out to other members. With us, you don't have to be a member to apply for a loan. You can become a member when the loan is issued to you. But everybody saves with us, and all of our borrowers save with us. And the idea is that it's people helping people. People save so that their friends and family and neighbours and others in the community can borrow money at affordable rates.
So in the second episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking more about kind of like the products that Wave Community Bank offers. But just as a sort of generic question now, what is it about the products that Wave offers that's different from the mainstream? I used to say high street banks, but of course they're all shut on the high street.
That's right.
So it's mainstream. What's the difference between what we offer as an organisation to maybe the mainstream banks?
With savings products, we don't pay an interest rate, we pay a dividend. So because we are a cooperative, every pound you have in your savings is a share in our cooperative. And then depending on the profit we make at the end of the year, the board would recommend a dividend against that, which is technically your savings interest for whatever you've saved with us. that's sort of the main difference in that sense. Yeah.
Okay. We obviously, as an organisation, one of the sort of main remits of what we do is actually kind of look at investing back into the community and benefiting the community. Can you give me some examples of how that's working?
Yeah, we do lots of work with the Stop Loan Sharks campaign run by the illegal money lending team that are based out of Birmingham City Council, but they cover all of England. So we do lots of education and awareness on the dangers of using loan sharks and the importance of going to a regulated lender. We also do lots of partnership work with councils. We do lots of work with local charities and support agencies such as Citizen Advice. In Brighton, we're part of Moneyworks, which is a collaboration with Brighton and Hove Citizens Advice, Money Advice Plus, St Luke's, Possibility People, Brighton Housing Trust, which, sorry, it's now called BHT Sussex because they've expanded. So there's lots of collaborative working within our communities, within the networks of agencies and charities that support our residents, as well as doing things like working with the Money and Pension Service to increase financial education for people in workspaces and for individuals. We work really collaboratively with them and share their content on our website, as well as sort of visiting employers together, things like that. So it's all about collaboration, partnerships, working together to overall improve financial inclusion, to help people get accounts that can't, to help people access affordable borrowing who have no other options. That's what we're all about.
Okay, so from August 2000, when the organisation was founded, to where we are now in 2025, lots has changed in the world. The world is beyond recognition from where it was 25 years ago. How has Wave kind of adapted what it offered back then to what it offers now? Obviously, people's needs and requirements change.
Yeah.
How has that changed?
Oh, when it all started, it was all paper. Right. It wasn't digital. It was when I first started working for what was East Sussex Credit Union then, nearly 9 years ago, there was still a lot of paper flying around. We're now 99% digital. We get occasional loan applications that are paper and membership applications that are paper, but the vast majority now is all done digitally. We can turn loans around in an hour now if we get all the information.
You wouldn't get that from a mainstream bank, would you?
No, I mean, it's more that we do always have a human involved in our loan decisions. Whilst we accept the applications digitally, we're not computer says no. Our loans are underwritten by humans, which you wouldn't necessarily get elsewhere. We also get to know our members, and that actually hasn't changed despite the fact that we have grown so much. We're now nearly 15,000 members across East Sussex and Kent, and that means that we still need to know our members. We know their histories with us. We know them when they ring us. And that's really important because we need to keep supporting them, understanding their needs. We offer savings products, like we've just launched a Christmas savings account, which I know we're going to talk about in episode 2, but that is to help our members manage their money in the build up to Christmas. It's about meeting their needs and listening to our members and what they'd like and how we can support, because after all, we're all members together. That's what we're here for. So we're here to meet our members' needs. We've got loans that are repaid through child benefit payments to make it easy, convenient and accessible for families who want to borrow for their children. So it's about listening, working out what's the right product to meet those needs, and expanding our services in the right way to help our members.
So we're going to talk about the savings products in episode 2, and there's going to be another episode on sort of loans and how that all works and all bits and aspects of Wave Community Bank. But I hope that's given you a brief overview of the organisation. So please click on to the next podcast so you can hear more of what Emma has to say about Wave Community Bank and the plans moving forward for the next 25 years.
Lovely. Thanks, Phill.
Making Waves is produced by and on behalf of Wave Community Bank. For more details, visit our website on www.wavecb.org.uk.